Very good morning to you. I'm Michelle Eagleton.
And I'm Phil Trow, and those are daffodils.
Yes.
I should have a T-shirt which says states the obvious.
You're watching Channel M's Breakfast Show. It is the 2nd of March, hence the reason we have got daffodils in the studio. It was St David's Day yesterday, and did you know the narcissus, as the daffodil is also called, is the traditional flower of Easter? It's also called the Lent lily.
Ah, do you know, funnily enough, just where I live, there is a little island in between the road, and you always know that it's coming to the nice time of year when all the daffs suddenly start to appear. Well,
that's when they're in bloom, in full bloom. And also, March was the first month in the calendar many moons ago. It wasn't till 1752 that it actually changed till January. So, really, we should all be making our New Year's resolutions now.
And another fascinating March fact, oh, we've got plenty, don't you worry, is that in March, people used to play with their marbles and go skipping. So I should play with my marbles, and Michelle can go skipping.
Maybe I should lose some marbles anyway.
Yes. Well, I think I've lost my marbles, because we've been talking this morning about dreams and dream interpretations. And I was just saying about the fact that my dream the other night was the fact that I went to America, was invited to the White House by Barack Obama. The White House was full of wild animals. Barack Obama gave me a kiss as I went home, and I couldn't get home because I'd got my ironing board with me and they wouldn't allow me on the plane. I think that actually all I need to know about that dream is not to eat cheese before I go to bed.
Absolutely, just your normal run-of-the-mill Phil dream there.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Never come inside this mind, it's a scary place. Now, in a few minutes, the latest sports headlines with Mike Bradley, but first today's news with James Webster.
Good morning, these are Monday's top stories. Sir Alex Ferguson is playing down talk of United winning 5 trophies this season. It's after his side won the Carling Cup on penalties after the match against Tottenham and a goalless after extra time. Even though the Reds are 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League, the manager says they could easily get knocked out of the FA Cup. More on this and the rest of the sport with Mike in just a couple of minutes. 2 men have been found dead at their flat in Wythenshawe. It's thought Alan Bolton and his brother-in-law Robert Carson were killed by carbon monoxide poisoning at the property they shared in Poundswick. Post-mortem tests have so far failed to work out for definite how they both died. The Housing Trust, which owns the building they lived in, is now checking whether any maintenance work has been recently done. A new high-tech system to try to catch criminals with guns is going live here in Manchester. The city's been chosen to coordinate a new service which can check evidence from shootings for links to similar crimes. Police can get results within the first 48 hours of an investigation. More than 100 cases have so far been put through it, and 7 of those were shown to have links to other cases. Detectives say they think sightings of a car could be the key to solving the murder of a man from Bolton a month on from his death. Umar Wasim's body was found in a car park near Chorley on the morning of the 2nd of February with serious head injuries. His ankles and wrists had been bound together and he'd been assaulted before he died. Police say he'd hired a black Vauxhall Vectra and been driving it around the previous day, and they now need to know where he went. 250 holidaymakers trying to jet off from Manchester to Goa have had their flight delayed for 25 hours. They claim they weren't offered any explanation as to why by the firm Thomson, apart from that there'd been a technical fault. It took until 8:30 last night to get them on their way. Thomson have apologised for the delay.
We looked at the check-in desk, nobody on it, it just said flight delayed. Several hundred people have been down there this morning asking about any further delays, and no representative at all has come to see us, so we're all just been dumped at the Radisson Hotel.
And we've just been segregated. I mean, I believe the tour company have given £22 a head for food for each one of us. Why couldn't we eat in the restaurant and put money too? You know, instead of eating rubbish, because it was rubbish.
A bit disgruntled, really, because I work hard and I've put a lot of effort into work to prepare myself for this week, and my other half's put a lot of effort into it as well. We've saved for it, and then you get told from a week holiday you're only going to be there probably about 5 days.
1 person has been killed and 3 more people are injured after a crash in Miles Platting. A car and a bus were involved in the collision just before 10:30 last night. One of those that was injured had to be cut free from the wreckage by the fire service and was taken to hospital. A car thief has threatened to shoot a policeman in Longsight. It happened when the officer was chasing the man along Bow Meadow Grange in the early hours of yesterday morning. He pointed a handgun at him, saying, "Do you want shooting?" The PC then stopped the pursuit and waited for armed officers to arrive. A project to cut the number of children skipping school in part of Manchester has been celebrated. Special badges have been given out to pupils at Plant Hill Arts College in Blakely, and helping congratulate the youngsters on their attendance record there was the rock band Kid British.
It's just to show kids that it is actually good to make sure you have 100% attendance. We've learned today, even if you've got 90% attendance throughout 5 years, you miss half a year of school over 5 years, so it does actually show how important it is.
And I keep looking back because I am dead happy. I am really happy.
And do you think this has really made you realise how important it is to kind of try hard at school?
Yeah, because I'd love to be like them someday, because I know that you need to concentrate and try your best to get in the school. And it's just, I'm dead happy.
I think that bringing the band in has shown that children can go far in life and try the hardest and become what they want to be.
They convince me to come in every day and be good and listen in lessons, especially English.
We've been working with them since the beginning of January to raise attendance, and this celebrates success on the last half term. So we've got Kid British band in today, and they're working with our students, telling them the importance of aspirations, about being good role models and how they can go about improving their attendance and what it might lead to in the future.
Dozens of chess players, some as young as 10 and some as old as 70, have taken part in a tournament with a twist here in Manchester. The second new East Manchester Rapid Play competition's taken place. Anyone taking part has just half an hour to make all their moves.
We're here at the Manchester Rapid Play chess competition. We've got players come from all over the northwest to come and take part. It's called Rapid Play Chess, so basically each player has a maximum of 30 minutes to complete all of their moves. At the end of those 30 minutes, if they haven't completed their moves, the time's up and the other opponent wins the game. We've got essentially 4 competitions running. So there's an open section where people from any standard can enter. There's an under 160 section, which is a graded section for the chess players, an under 120 section, and then also a junior section as well. Over the lunch break, we've had an inter-schools competition in the East Manchester area. So the kids who've competed in that competition are coming here at the lunch break to play their semi-finals and final matches, which is great for them and great for us as well.
That's all from me for this morning. I'll be back with the Channel M lunchtime news at 12 noon. And don't forget, you can see a full roundup of all the day's headlines with Andy Crane from 5 tonight. Now, though, here's Phil and Mike with the sport.
And Manchester United players will be stinking of eau de champagne again this morning. There they are, celebrating their Carling Cup triumph yesterday, including a picture of their hero Ben Foster, who was successful in the penalty shootout. That really, though, Mike, was probably the highlight of the game, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we've been saying all morning, a game low on quality. Even the penalties weren't that spectacular, were they? But for Ben Foster, you know, what a day. He's had his problems with injury. He's come up through the non-league ranks. He deserves to be United's first choice, and once Edwin van der Sar finally hangs up his gloves, then he will be. But as we say, for United, 2 trophies down, 3 to go. Can they do it? I think you said before, the bookies are offering odds of 9 to 1. They can make a clean sweep, which would be unprecedented in the modern era. So Alex is saying only the media are getting carried away with talk of it this morning. But Harry Redknapp, who faced United yesterday, he thinks United's squad, the strength of depth, will see them clean the board this season and win an incredible 5 trophies. So
yeah, I think worrying for their opponents is the fact that there were at least 3 or 4 of the youngsters who are going to come through, obviously, in the next few years, who really didn't look out of place in that team.
Absolutely, and out of the 15 players that are named, you can probably perm any 11 from 30 at the minute at Old Trafford, so the future looks bright for a number of years to come. It's up to the rest of the Premier League and the rest of European football really to catch United up.
OK, Manchester City probably hoping to do that. They're in the newspaper this morning.
They are in the newspaper this morning. It's all about Manchester City this morning. They're giving serious consideration to actually getting rid of Robinho at the end of the season and looking at a player plus cash exchange for John Terry. The rumours surrounding John Terry will not go away. If they can't get Terry, they're going to look to Bayern Munich and get Frank Ribery. And here we go again with the transfer rumours. Mark Hughes has been linked with David Villa this morning, Yaya Touré and Carlo Touré and Rocky Santa Cruz. And the club have also rubbish rumours this morning. They are looking to replace Hughes as soon as possible with Jurgen Klinsmann. So I think that's just City trying to get the headlines away from United this morning.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of rubbishing, you feel, in the next few months, don't you, with regards to Mark Hughes' position?
There will be, but even if only 1% of all his rumours are true, it's going to be a hell of a time for football.
OK, away from football to the Windies, and it's not been the most successful few days in terms of bowling for England.
It's not been, and you just wonder, when will England learn about posting a big target and, you know, giving the West Indies something to have a go at? This is the latest score from Barbados this morning after posting 600. West Indies replied with an incredible 7-4-9 for 9 declared against England, the third highest score they've recorded anywhere in the world. Ramnaresh Sarwan on 291, and England trail today by 143. Play gets underway at 2 o'clock our time, Phil, and you've got to say yet another draw from England, snatched from the jaws of victory, and I think this test will just peter out. The best we can expect for is a draw, but when you think we've been in a position of superiority in 2 of those tests, it's really not looking good.
OK, just going back to football, big game tonight for Oldham. They were successful at the weekend at Millwall, but they've got Leeds tonight.
Yeah, they had a great win, 3-2 at Millwall on Saturday, with highlights of Oldham against Leeds and tomorrow's breakfast show. But for now, the early morning team news even from Boundary Park. Let's have a quick look. Mark Crossley will not return. He's injured his back for Oldham. But for Leeds, they have a number of players out. Johnny Howson is suspended. Andy Robinson, Neil Kilkenny, Fraser Richardson and Andrew Hughes are all injured. But the danger man, Luciano Becchio, he will return. Expecting the highest crowd of the season at Boundary Park this evening. It's a 7:45 kick-off. Get there early if you're going, and if you can't go there, like I said, we'll have highlights in the morning. My prediction is a 3-1 win for Oldham.
There's a good Yorkshire name, isn't it? Luciano Becchio. Hello, Luciano.
Leeds born and bred.
Yeah. Let's move on to boxing. Ricky Hatton has been back in Manchester this weekend.
Yeah, he's in town to publicise the IBO welterweight showdown against Manny Pacquiao in Vegas in May. And as you can imagine, Big Ricky, he's pretty confident.
I have always said I'm unbeatable at 10 stone, and I really do feel that way. It's going to be nice that for the pound-for-pound title, I think 2 nice men of boxing are challenging for it. But we're nice outside the ring, but there's nothing nice about me and Manny Pacquiao. Once we get inside the ring, we're both very, very aggressive. Manny Pacquiao is a very, very aggressive fighter. And I have to say, in recent fights, in recent years, I think everybody has been a little bit wary of his aggression. I know a man who won't be. That's me. And along with the new training camp that I had recently, I've improved my defence, I've improved my jab, I've improved my speed, I've improved my left jab, my head movement. But unlike in recent years, where because of Manny's aggressiveness, a lot of people have given ground, Manny Pacquiao is going to be fighting someone for the first time in recent years that won't give any ground. I think the last time somebody put the pressure on him, I think he lost to Eric Morales. And that's nowhere near the type of pressure which I think Manny will have to deal with that night.
Ricky Hatton is a great fighter also. And I hope this coming May too, you're gonna watch the fight. This is a once in a lifetime great fight you ever seen in boxing history.
And Ricky probably needs to stay off the puddings, doesn't he, for the next few
couple of months, absolutely.
Yeah. Which is just as well that he doesn't go to Eastlands, therefore, because the head chef at Manchester City makes a mean old Manchester trifle, as we'll find out in a couple of minutes' time.